IPAC meeting. What happened? What went into it? What were the fallouts?
Yeah, like I said, we had very fruitful discussions. To summarize, on the ongoing transfer, we agreed, and the Electoral Commission has communicated to the district directors and the regional directors that all political parties who are ready and willing to let their agents observe the process, monitor the process, should be allowed. That was one of the decisions. We are hearing reports that in IPAC KWESI, there is a district electoral commission director who is working together with the police and denying NDC agents access. If someone is watching,
that report has to do with today?
Today,
okay.
The transfer. If someone is watching and has access to the district director in the IPAC KWESI in the Western region, they should immediately inform him or her that what is happening is against the directive that the EC headquarters has issued, flowing from the IPAC meeting of yesterday. We also deliberated on the fate of people who registered in just the registration exercise which ended yesterday, whether they can transfer their votes or not, whether they can file for proxy or not. The answer is not conjured. The answer is found in the electoral laws. CI 127, which governs elections, and CI 91, as amended by CI 126, which governs registration of voters. If you read the two CIs together, the interpretation is that a registered voter is a voter whose name is in the provisional register. And then if you want to know how a register becomes a provisional register, the stages, you have to go to CI 91. The answer is that at this stage, someone who registered yesterday, because the person will have to go through deduplication, that person at this stage is not a registered voter. So all those who registered during this 23-day period, whether you are a student or you are a security personnel on special duty, the EC has agreed and said that they cannot transfer their votes at this stage. They cannot also apply for proxy voting. So that was also discussed, and the EC communicated that to their various district directors. The next thing I've already alluded to, which has to do with the network failures. We raised them. The EC chair did not prevaricate. She admitted the challenges, apologized for them, and was ready and willing to bring the IT team of the EC together with MTN that provided the broadband services, that's the internet, to the next IPAC meeting for us to deliberate and find lasting solutions to this challenge, which is almost becoming perennial these days, because we suffered it in 2023. So that we hope that at the next IPAC meeting, the right questions, we will ask the right questions, and we will have the right answers and fashion out the way forward so that we will not be experiencing these network challenges. The register also. The register has some challenges, and sometimes, Randy, can you imagine that the 2023 voters register, our study of it has demonstrated that there are some people whose ages are more than 1,000 years. Betusala.
That's interesting.
Yes, if you look at it, we have. So we raised those, and we said that look, there's the need for us to look at the register. Everybody, we are not saying give it. We should all look at it and look and decide on how best we can clean this register. The EC chair blames political parties for registering minors and all, but these minors in Ashanti region are people who monitored, saw minors who were registering with Ghana cards. Sometimes we heap all the blame on the Electoral Commission. It's not so. The NIA also has questions to answer. That time will soon come. How those minors got those Ghana cards, age-appropriate Ghana cards, for them to be able to register. Moving from there is what she then put out, which actually is something that has confused some people. And let me clear the air.
What's that?
She said that Ghana card will become the sole identifier.
Yeah.
That is the aspiration. But it is not going to happen in 2024.
Okay.
No. It has nothing to do with the 2024 elections.
Okay.
It is in the future when the law is. So even if, assuming the law is passed by Parliament, now the its implementation is beyond the 2024 elections. So that is something that it is important to.
But it's bound to happen.
To put to rest. It's bound to happen if and only if the NIA puts its house in order.
Okay.
I have demonstrated to you how some young people, minors, were holding NIA card. So why make the NIA card anachronistic and sacrosanct? Said that it is the sine qua non to the problems. So yes, it has some inherent efficiencies, inherent self-purification mechanisms. So if they will do the right thing and stop aiding people to commit electoral crimes like they were trying to do in Pusiga, where people had been denied registration, and then immediately you hear NIA is going to Pusiga to go and register people in the border town between Burkina Faso and Ghana. I mean, the impudence, and then tries to rope in the International Organization of Migration. Registering Ghanaians, what has that got to do with International Organization of Migration? Or migration? If you are registering Ghanaians, what has that got? Are they refugees? Very soon they will be telling us that they are bringing in the UNHCR. Please, NIA, we didn't toil to get the NIA to where it is, for it to be able to be producing Ghana cards, to ensure that the factory acceptance test for the equipment that are being used for the Ghana card were signed off, passed under our administration, President Mohammed's administration, only for you to come and misuse and misapply the resources of the NIA to aid some people to cheat in elections. So, it's an aspiration that Ghana cards can become the sole identifier, but NIA should put its house in order. All these discussions about Ghana card, premature, not for 2025, even if it lands in Parliament and Parliament is able to implement. The date of effectiveness will be post-2024 elections. Beyond that is the almighty and troubling stolen biometric voter registration kits, the components of it that were stolen under CCTV surveillance at the headquarters of the Electoral Commission. When I got that intel, I decided to hold on to it until the EC was appearing before Parliament. And so that morning, and God bless Honorable Kwame Agboja for that power. He has that enormous ability, consultation. God bless Atofo, consultation. We talk among each other. And then they said, EC is coming to Parliament. Are there some issues that you want us to raise? I said, yes. So typed out these ones, including the stolen components of the BVR kits. under CCTV surveillance at headquarters of the EC. When I tell you the MPP is naked, do you now understand?
What's the link?
The link. Do I work at the...
No, so we should hold the EC responsible.
Do I work at the EC? Am I a security officer?
No.
It is the national security that is in charge of the place. And the ECs are a premise. So it is national security and the EC that are blamable in this. And I blame both of them. Who is responsible for the national security? Yes. How did we know? How did I know that these things were stolen under CCTV surveillance? They are naked. They said they will not answer the 35 questions. Why? Because the matter is in court. But for me, that is a residual rubric that people rely on when they don't want to answer our questions. So I quickly refer to several aspects of the 35 questions and pointed out about 11 of them that have nothing to do with the criminal case that is in court. And said, look, you can answer these questions if you want to deepen trust and confidence in the EC. To the EC's credit, the EC chair committed that, look, they will hand over all the 35 questions to their lawyers, for their lawyers to tell them which ones they can answer that will not impact on the outcome of the criminal case in court. And so we are waiting. IPAC was only yesterday. Hopefully in the coming days we will hear from the EC answers to those aspects. But that does not preclude the already petition that the Electoral Commission, the NDC, has already sent to the Speaker of Parliament for a public parliamentary inquiry into the conduct of the EC that culminated in all these biometric equipments, some being stolen at the headquarters of the EC and others also being damaged and, as they told us, missing in the field. And they say Takwa in Swahim. In Takwa in Swahim, they are saying that some of these equipment were what? Missing. In Takwa in Swahim. So we are here. We are going for an election. Registration. Components of BVR equipment. Missing. Takwa in Swahim, we are going for elections. And some biometric verification devices that can be used to verify people to vote, are also missing. Every Ghanaian must be worried. We are equally concerned, and that is why we are pursuing it. We've received some assurances about their readiness, which is what I've told you, that they are going to inform their lawyers, and their lawyers will then advise which aspects they can answer and which aspects they shouldn't answer because of the ongoing court case. But as I have indicated, the EC answering the questions and the parliamentary inquiry are not mutually exclusive and exhaustive. We shall pursue a two-track approach. But however, if they answer the questions and we are satisfied, there will be no need going to Parliament to be pushing a Parliament for an inquiry.
Very well. We should be winding up our conversation. Doc, as I mentioned, barely 6 months to the election, if I'm right with my calculation, because by Saturday we'll enter into the new month as well. What are the expectations of the NDC? You mentioned 57-point-something%, and you mentioned that it's actually based on the research. Is that what you are expecting, and how does your party mobilize its members to give you that 57%?
The campaign team, the party will very soon be putting out the campaign team, because all the discussions that we have had at the level of the Functional Executive Committee suggest that the party is ready and willing to officially commence the campaign. So what you are seeing now is not the real campaign that has begun. So the real campaign will begin, so that will be put in place. But we at the Election Directorate we want to, as much as possible, restrict ourselves to the rudiments of the electoral process. Looking at the electoral process with eagle eyes, as I keep on saying, with eagle eyes, under very, very high resolution microscopes, if possible electronic microscope, to pick every detail that is going wrong so that we correct that. Because some have said those who cast the vote determine nothing. It is those who count. We don't subscribe to that. We have said that in 2024, people should cast the votes for the NDC. We shall ensure the votes are counted. And when the votes are counted, we shall also ensure every vote counts. So we are going to restrict ourselves to the processes leading up to the declaration of President John Dramani Mahama as the president-elect, President Nana Opukwa-Juman as the vice president-elect, and then with a massive working majority in Parliament. That is the focus. The campaign team is going to build the campaign and execute it based on issues. Issues. When we say 24-hour economy, never accept that this economy is already 24 hours. I'll ask you a question. Don't you think we can have another Randy to sit here, let's say at 1 a.m. and have a similar engaging interview? And if there are people in their offices, just as people who are in their offices right now watching us, if people are working at 1 a.m. because of the 24-hour economy, don't you think you will have eyeballs watching? You will. That Randy Ahaji may be out there or may even be in-house, will be ready and willing to host. So when you go 24-hour economy, even media houses will benefit. Advertisers will benefit. When we say 24-hour economy, they say the economy is already going 24 hours and that the health sector is already 24 hours. It's not true. Take it from me. I'm a trained physician. It's not true.
Well, why is it not true? You run shifts.
When you go to the hospital at even 5 p.m., go to the OPD. Who are you going to meet at the OPD? Isn't it only the emergency that you are going to meet people? So if you work from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and you wanted to go to the OPD, you have to miss work to be able to attend the OPD appointment. True or false? Yeah. What if there was even an OPD session that runs from, let's say, 5 p.m. to about 9 p.m.? Can't you go to work and at the end of your day go for that kind of appointment? The surgeries that are done in the night, okay, 99% of them are emergency surgeries. There's a reason we call some surgeries emergency surgeries and elective surgeries. Even though both of them start with E, they are not the same. Emergency is emergency. If someone develops ectopic pregnancy and is rushed to the hospital for an elective, for an emergency surgery by a gynecologist, it is not the same as you went in, fibroid is diagnosed, and we said, oh, looking at the queue, please come after 6 months and let's have the surgery done for you. So we think that if 24-hour economy is on and surgeons can perform these surgeries during normal working hours and also post-working hours, we are not going to have more people. The queues are not going to shorten. The queues will shorten. Just check, because the hospital is working, all the informal sector around our hospitals, those selling food, those selling drugs, those selling water, transportation, taxi drivers, trotro drivers, what it will mean to them. People have estimated that for the 24-hour economy to thrive, we need about 25,000 police personnel, policemen and women. These over 500,000, 500,000 youth that have just registered to vote, that are experiencing excruciating unemployment of 14.7%. They will benefit from this recruitment into the Ghana Police Service, a whole hiatus of about 25,000. If you are enrolling them into it, you can imagine the number of jobs, well-paying jobs, decent jobs that you will be creating.